Hello, my name is DD Fryer, and I wanted to show you some of the features of the upcoming Battle for Arras campaign. First of all, I just want to show you the map we'll be using. So we're using the Arras map. The German forces will be starting from the northern end of the map. They will have Fromelles and Saint-Marique as airfields, and Lille and Roubaix as tank start points. The other icons, locations you can see on the map are just there for this video and for testing, but they are an example of towns that have been captured. You'll then see the ownership. In the southern part of the map we have the starting points for the Allied forces, so they have Flaucourt and Hancourt as airfields. They have Péronne as a tank start, and also they have a base at Saint-Quentin. So the first feature I wanted to demonstrate is the ability to destroy and repair road bridges. All rail bridges will be destroyed at the beginning of the map and cannot be repaired. So what I'm going to do is just spawn in here at this town. And we can see that from our spawn position we have a bridge in sight. There we have the bridge destroyed. If we check the map now, we can see that we have an X on the map showing that the bridge has been destroyed. So now, as a player, perhaps from the opposing side, if I now approach the bridge and I place my tank in a position to the left or right of the road that approaches the bridge, obviously from either side of the river, the bridge will go into repair mode. So if I just approach the bridge here, and as we get closer we can now see that the bridge has gone being repaired. It will take in the game 15 minutes for the bridge to actually be repaired, and what will happen once the bridge has been repaired, there you are, the icons will go from the map and the bridge is just back up, and I obviously just shorted that process for the demonstration here. The next feature I wanted to demonstrate was the capture points located around the map. There are two types of capture point, those indicated by a white dot and those indicated by a yellow dot. So we can see here an example of a yellow dot town. A yellow dot town will give you a spawn point, as we have here. So this is for testing. I've set the allegiance to the German forces for the start of the map. So that is a yellow spawn. That gives you a spawn point and also a supply convoy. So capturing a yellow spot town will generate a supply convoy that will start approximately 2 kilometers outside of the position. German forces will come down from the north, Allied forces will come up from the south, or an applicable orientation for others. White spot towns, so we have an example of a white spot town here. They, when captured, will just give you a spawn point. There will be no supply point there. Because of that, because there's no supply point, and all of the tanks in the mission will be starting with limited fuel, when you capture a white spot town, there will be a fuel truck. So here is an example. Let's start in at this test spawn point. We will capture the white spot, which will generate us a spawn point. We can then come in at the spawn point and we'll see the fuel tank located. So we just need to finish mission from the bridge. And we will sign in at this test point here. As you can see, the numbers of the tanks are limited at each of the points. Okay. So we're just going to make our way up to the monument. Okay, so now the point has gone. So German forces will have a blue flag, Allied forces have a green flag. So now if we check the map, we can see that we have a spawn point. So I'm going to exit from here and I'm going to spawn in at this newly acquired spawn point. Okay, so when we spawn in and we select our tank, we can see that the fuel is locked to only, well, it's 10% in the editor, but that makes it 11% in the game. So we now start at our tank here. And we can see that when we look around, we can see located just over there, just opposite the spawn point, is a fuel tanker, and we can see in the bottom part of the screen on the HUD, we can see that the repair and renew icons have been illuminated. So if I jump into my tank and, for instance, go to the commander and open the hatch without starting the engine, the tank has now been fueled up to 100% fuel. Okay, so that is capturing a white spot point and then spawning in at the position that it then generates. So let's have a look at capturing a yellow spotted town. So let's start, let's go Allied this time. So we'll finish our mission and change to the town with the yellow spot. Okay, so we're now going to go in and capture a town that is marked with a yellow spot. So we're just travelling into the town, and there we can see up on the right hand side there the monument. now going to make our way over to within 20 metres of the monument, and that will grant us the capture. There we go, so we have secured the town, and the flag will now go to green. Back away a little bit so you can see it. There we go. And it's also generated a supply convoy. So if I now drop back into the driver's position, we can see at the bottom of the screen that the fuel is red, because that's because we are limited. The supply convoy has now been called up and is heading up the road towards our location. We can just see the dust there. So as I say, they start from approximately 2 kilometers away. The supply convoy consists of a lead truck, which is a guarding truck. It's the anti-aircraft truck. There is an ambulance for health. There is a mechanic's truck, an ammo truck, and a fuel truck. So once that arrives at the monument, I can then position myself near to the vehicle to complete either a rearm if I've arrived at the site, if I'm out of ammo, or to get fuel. They have a radius of 75 metres, so you haven't got to go right up to them. You'd only have to get sort of within range, and that will then repair you or refuel you. When you once you've captured the point and the spawn point has been generated, in this instance we can see that the spawn point is quite close to the capture point. So if I were to finish my mission from where I left the tank and I respawn in at the newly captured position, we can see I'm located in this particular instance quite close to the monument, and there we have the convoy arriving. So for those of you that have not seen how the refuel works before, I'm now going to drive over to the convoy. And as I get closer, we will start to see the repair icons appear in the HUD at the bottom of the screen. So there we have is the ambulance, so the health has come available. We are close to the ammunition truck, so the ammunition cycle has come up. I'm going to carry on driving down the convoy. Next we have the mechanics. And finally we are in range of the fuel truck, so I can stop, turn my engine off, and there we are. Now our fuel has been repaired. So if I jump to the driver's seat, we can now see in the bottom of the screen the fuel indicated by the jerry can is now at 100%. Okay, so now let's turn our attention to the airfields on the map. There are 4 airfields, 2 airfields per side. So we have Fromelles and Saint-Marie, and for the Allied, Flaucourt and Hancourt. These airfields, when attacked, there are 4 main targets that, if when destroyed, will render the airfield unoperational for 15 minutes. These targets are the maintenance hangar we see here. There are 2 fuel locations there, and in this instance at the other end of the airfield, and also there is the medical facility, which we can see here with the 4 tents with the cross on the top. So when those 4 targets are taken down, in this example there's the other airfield, the other fuel, the airfield will be rendered out of operation for 15 minutes. Pilots should take care operating from these airfields. They are World War I airfields, and I have tried to flatten them to accommodate World War II aircraft, but various testing has proved that it is okay to take off, but you do need to have your wits about you due to the bumps. There are also some other airfields marked on the map. So we have smaller airfields. For instance, we have there is an airfield at Hoopin here. So that airfield, it's a white spot, but that means that when you capture it with a tank, you will get a spotter plane only. So you will be able to use that to advance your aerial reconnaissance should you wish to. So we have the airfield there, we have one over here as well, there's another one at La Brelle, and another one, so there's 2 other airfields at Epernay and Noailles, and I'll talk about those in a second, and a smaller airfield again at down the bottom here. Now the airfields at Noailles and Epernay, they are marked with a yellow dot because when you capture those, you will have a supply convoy, a tank spawn point, and also a spotter plane spawn point. So that completes the features that I've built into this mission. Hopefully you will be able to join us. We plan to run it for a number of weeks, so don't expect to commit to every week or as much as we'd like you to, but hopefully you will be able to join us for at least a couple of the sessions. Okay, thank you.